Hello.
Welcome.
It's Higurashi.
Time.
I'm glad that we were so in sync and coordinated there.
I know, right? We can finish each other's
Thoughts?
Ah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Banana is also a good one. All right. Well, yeah, we're back for Higurashi. I've forgotten what we had last session. I remember there was a lot of confusion about voices, but that's okay.
We cut most of that.
Oh, did we? Good.
I hope.
I hope so. You let me know. You're editing this.
Otherwise, it would be a very long video.
It would, yeah. So hopefully there was no confusion about voices, and we will continue to not be confused about voices. As usual, we're very on top of things. I'm the expert.
As I'm sure you're all aware.
Of course, you've read the descriptions.
One of the interesting things that is kind of starting to happen now.
Oh boy.
Now that we're introducing more characters who clearly have more detail rather than just, background characters like Kuma-chan or whatever.
Kuma-chan!
We're starting to get into a broader cast, and it's definitely raising a lot more questions for me. Because as with, many discussions we've had, particularly in the recaps about, what rules is Ryukashi following? Should we expect the people who were introduced early to be the ones that are most likely to be behind everything? Or now that we're getting into people like Irie being here, where Irie has clearly been a presence in the past story because of,
Has he?
The Irie clinic being introduced right back at Arc 1.
I mean, you're right. There was some foreshadowing there.
And also the whole thing about the quote-unquote manager who definitely was Shion in Arc 1 and not Irie.
You don't know. You don't know who the manager is. Maybe they're a demon. Maybe they're the manager of demons and they're coming after us.
I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
No
nailed it.
ifs and or buts.
Higurashi solved.
But I do like... I think most people are probably familiar with the fact that I play it relatively safe when it comes to doing all of my reasoning.
Yep.
If I can stick within the rules, I'll stick within the rules because that gives a good framework to work around.
Sure. I mean, that's why they're there, right? The rules are tools to be used.
Exactly, but this is not a story where we've had it declared to us what, if any, set of rules we're using.
Yep.
And also, because, this is definitely more of a horror story than Umineko was, there's a certain doubt as to whether we can, trust the reliability of certain structures.
Yeah, sure. Are we dealing with Knox and Van Dyne? Are we dealing with, conventional storytelling rules? Who knows? Chekhov's gun? Sort of shit.
There's lots of different structuralist theorists who could play in here, but...
Yeah. Structuralist theorists. I guess that's correct.
Are you familiar with structuralism?
I mean, I'm familiar with structure. I don't know about the theory in particular. It's probably just that everything, a 3-act structure, that sort of shit.
Have you heard of the 12 Steps of the Hero's Journey?
Yeah, totally.
That is a structuralist reduction of storytelling.
There you go.
There are a bunch of different structuralist structures, which is kind of ironic, given that the fact that there are multiple of them almost contradicts their own argument.
Of course.
Basically being that all story is reducible to core components, but we have to have more core components because our core components don't match enough.
Yeah, ours are more important than the ones that other theorist proposes.
Self-defeating, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so Knox and Van Dyne, for example, they're not strictly structuralist because they don't necessarily point out...
They don't follow a flow chart.
Yes.
You could pick and choose any given point and apply it to the start of the novel.
But they do identify the actual, at least logical structures of the story rather than narrative structures.
Sure. Yeah, no, I feel you. And I remember you talked a bit it was in the first recap or the second recap of Onikakushi that maybe Ryukashi is ignoring these. Perhaps even deliberately, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see where we end up at the end.
Alrighty. I walked forward quite a ways, then turned right where the rice fields ended. I'd never come here before, so I had no idea where to go. I got lost several times, so I may have taken quite a long way around. Maybe I should have gone back home and gotten my bike first.
Why wouldn't you?
What a dummy.
Silly boy.
This is why, if you have a bike, you use it. Get on your bike, son.
It would have made everyone else worry if I'd asked them, so I asked one of our other classmates where Sadako's actual house was. That house is originally her family's, apparently not their uncle and his wife's. Their house had been bigger, so they had taken it for themselves.
Oh shit! We're going there!
I was not expecting this to happen so quickly.
I forgot. Did he resolve to do this at the end of last chapter?
Maybe he did.
I don't remember, but I guess we're going to Sadako's house.
Right here, several houses all in a line. Over there, I was visiting Sadako's house, but didn't particularly intend to meet her there.
Oh.
I didn't mean to spy on the enemy, her mean uncle either. Maybe I just wanted to be a little closer to her as her Nini. Pretty words, but I didn't know if they were true. If what Tomadakun and the others told me was right, it'd be this house, when I recognized that my feet grew heavy. What did I come here for? My motive for coming here was absurd. When Mion had said at the end that we were powerless, it made me sort of frustrated. I just wanted to do something. Anything other than waste the days away from praying for a miracle. That's what made me come here.
See, I don't think he did resolve to do this at the end of last chapter, which admittedly could be wrong. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to wonder why we've cut out this gap in the middle of him going to get information.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, I completely agree, good decision, cuts the scene out of the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if he didn't resolve to do this at the end of last chapter,
What happened?
there's a gap in the storytelling, right?
Yeah, which is a bit weird, isn't it? Wonder why that is.
I don't wonder why that is.
Okay.
I just wanted to point it out.
Okay, I'm glad you're not wondering about anything. Don't worry
I
about
don't
it.
think about these things,
It's not
man. I
important.
just know them.
None of this is important. Just know everything.
But that was all. Even if I were to witness her uncle actually tormenting Sadako, what could I do? Would I act like a comic book hero, punch the guy in the face, and take Sadako away with me?
Yes.
I'm thinking more baseball bats, but
And then
Yeah.
live together somewhere far away. That was ridiculous. I'm powerless. The cicadas' voices raised in chorus sounded like they were scoffing at me. As though they were saying that if I couldn't do anything and wouldn't do anything, then I should go back home.
I walked outside yesterday. It was a very hot day here.
Yeah, it's awful.
In Sydney.
hate it.
Middle of a heat wave at the moment. Not a particularly terrible one, but nonetheless
It's
unpleasant.
pretty bad. You don't want to be outside in the
It's-
heat. I had to issue a warning to people.
It's at least not getting past 35°C.
I guess so. Apparently, it is 45°C in
But
some parts of New
that's
South Wales.
Penrith. Just
I guess so. No one lives there. You're right. You know what? No one important lives in Penrith.
there's a rowing centre and flat ground. That's Penrith in my mind.
To those of you living in Penrith,
I'm not
thank you for
sorry.
sticking with us. No. That's why you'd never make it in PR, Felix. That's why. This is why you would never make it. You need talent. You need someone to hold your hand.
No, these
Be the
people just
public
need
face.
someone to tell them to move out.
Get out of Penrith.
Get out of Penrith.
Move to the city.
But I walked outside and the cicadas were just going at it, and I was like just reviewing Keiichi's monologues in my head.
As you do.
Just this beautiful flashback to
The cicadas' voices became overwhelming, and
but it's like just you know
The
just,
sun was beating down.
exactly.
Yeah. You hear the cicadas in Australia?
What?
I'm just saying. You ever heard those Australian cicadas?
You think they sound different? They have an accent.
I think they do.
It's like the seagulls in Finding Nemo. Just mate.
That's it. That's what you hear. It's terrifying, really.
Yeah.
I carry a gun.
Not in this country.
A BB gun.
as though they were saying that if I couldn't do anything and wouldn't do anything, then I should go back home.
A knife, then. A large Bowie knife.
I heard a car approaching, so I got out of its way. But the car stopped right behind me, its horn honking shortly once.
Oh, boy.
Annoyed. Hadn't I got out of their way, I looked behind me and a familiar face was looking at me out of the driver's seat window.
Oh, here we go.
Coach.
Hello, my dear son. How unexpected to meet you all the way out here. Do you live nearby?
Me being here wasn't normal. Just as I considered somehow giving him the slip, I'd noticed Sadako sitting in the passenger seat. Sadako? Sadako got out of the car and began unloading a lot of groceries from the trunk. I happened to run into Coach on my way back from shopping. He said he'd bring me home, so I accepted his offer.
She wouldn't have been able to carry all of those groceries on her bike.
As Coach spoke, he pulled out Sadako's bike from the back seat where they'd put it. The grocery bags were big, and there were 4 of them. They all seemed to be packed full and very heavy. And the music...
Cuts. Abruptly. For attention.
Those bags. 7 smart?
Oh.
Hey, isn't that a little far to go by bicycle?
Oh.
I looked at the bags and saw that they were filled to the brim with sake bottles, snacks that you'd eat with sake, and boxes of cigarettes.
Oh, no.
It's not necessarily what I'd describe as grocery shopping.
No. Why would you go to the grocery store to get all that stuff?
Just go to the local liquor
Local
store.
drugstore. Liquor store. Yeah, that's the one.
Their weight was one thing, but their contents were nothing less than luxury items.
Must be pretty expensive.
Luxury items.
I'm many thanks to Coach. He helped me out. It was a little difficult going up those hills. Sadako gave Coach a smile filled with gratitude, but it was incredibly awkward and even heartrending.
I mean,
They could be.
they could be.
Sadako could be just drinking, just smashing it out, you know? With the lads.
Tepe's there like, Sadako, you have to stop. You've got to get off.
You're ruining yourself. God just use me as an excuse. That'd be such a reversal. Oh, I feel awful now, but yeah.
Why are we saying this?
Sadako, these groceries aren't for dinner tonight, are they? Of course not. I do not drink sake and I hate snacks.
Is she royalty or not?
I hate those British candies. They're so disgusting.
Of course I don't smoke either.
Only raw meat for me and the lions.
He made Sadako go to a distant store by herself on her bike.
Oh no.
Presumptive.
The worst.
We really are.
Yeah.
So she could buy dumb shit like this? What was the uncle doing right now anyway? Must have been working up a good sweat at this very moment if he needed to send Sadako out by herself, right? If not, then how much did Sadako suffer for no reason? I'm sorry,
What is happening?
I was trying to deliver that line with a straight face, but in the middle of it, I just pictured Tepe doing aerobics.
What?
In like the big 80s like spandex.
Why? I know,
leg
why?
warmers.
Why?
He was working up a good sweat, Ben.
He's gotta work off them carbs for all that smoking he's doing. However that works. All them snacks. He's gonna keep in tip-top shape.
God, why am I like this?
I don't know, you're awful.
I hadn't intended to voice my feelings, but they may have made it to my face.
Always! That always happens!
Keiichi's speaking my language right now. Can we get fan art of Tepe doing aerobics? I don't even know what he looks like. I don't know. Have we seen his sprite?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We'll find out at some point, I'm sure.
But they may have made it to into my face. Coach might have noticed because he clapped me on the shoulder.
Oh yeah, seriously. Mm-hmm.
Just then one of the house windows clattered open in the face of a vulgar man, the very sight of which made me immediately avert my eyes, emerged from within it. There are no self-introductions necessary. My gut told me this was the uncle in question.
You know that the moment his sprite appears, I'm gonna fucking lose it. The first thing out of his mouth should have been words of gratitude for Sadako.
Okay.
Here we go, Ben.
I'm taking this voice.
Yes, you are.
Give me a moment. I need to go full Adam Coble. Just imagine Adam Coble in a aerobics outfit, and that's his character. Okay, hold on. Stop it! Seriously! It's very dramatic! Satoko! You left the heat for the sake on when you left, you half-wit!
I'm sorry, but you told me to go right away.
You idiots! All that brewing I did for nothing! Idiots!
Why is he brewing sake and shopping for sake? Like, come on, commit. One or the other.
I have to double the supply.
I'm sorry. Sadako miserably apologized over and over, bowing again and again. She could be perfectly described as a small animal. I had no idea what was happening. Sadako finished shopping for all this heavy stuff, and that wasn't even for dinner. She only managed to come back because she ran into Coach and he drove her home. If she hadn't been found by him, she'd surely still be by herself, panting and moaning, pedaling her bicycle up that steep hill. What was with those words, those horrible, sleazy words that he said to Sadako? In what country's dictionary did it tell him to say such things to a young girl who just finished shopping? My anger, of course, wouldn't reach him. The uncle displayed no interest in me, instead shouting at Coach.
Oh, if it isn't Dr. Irie! Hello! Why don't you come on inside too? We're in the last round, so you can get in right away. 100 yen per 1,000 points and anything goes. No, I'll pass, thank you. I just ran into Satoko-chan and gave her a lift is all. I'll be leaving now. Oh, nah, come play around. You've got a lot of money, huh?
I didn't even understand what her uncle and Coach were talking about, but I knew one thing for sure. None of what he just said had been to thank Sadako in any way.
Satoko, could you bring us the damn snacks? And start getting those beers chilled too. Go get us some cold ones from the fridge. You want to take this asshole or shall I? It's some random dude.
Oh, God.
Scum voice number 1.
Tachan, you're so harsh on her. She looks so sad. You should take better care of her.
This is how I've got to treat her. She's been like this since she was with my bro. Spoil her, she ain't gonna listen to a damn thing you say. Shit.
Whatever, it's your draw, Chan.
Tsubaki-san declared Riichi too. Sorry, what? You and Riichi again, Tsubaki?
Looked like it wasn't just her uncle, some of his friends were over. Hey, wait, what was he?
Oh.
No, what were they doing? Flinging rude words left and right, making Sadako go shopping for your beer. What were they doing?
My uncle's friends came from town and they're playing mahjong. He told me to prepare dinner for them as well.
What the hell? Mahjong? He called his friends over for mahjong? They're too busy playing, so they sent Sadako to buy them a crapload of booze from a faraway store. And the first thing he said to her was how she left the gas on? What the hell? What the hell?
Scum.
Amateurs not getting snacks before the game.
I know, right? They're just not prepared.
What does that guy think he's doing? Could get lost in some dumb game of mahjong and send Sadako to buy all this stuff.
If you can have a marathon and watch all the Lord of the Rings extended editions, you gotta have your snacks, you gotta have your drinks, you gotta have your food, you gotta have your Uber Eats, you gotta be prepared.
Not a sponsor.
Even
though Coach was listening, he pretended he wasn't. There's a line of heavy-looking shopping bags lined up on the ground next to the trunk.
Naiba-san, you two help, please. Your boy, you get to carry this heavy one.
Coach, you're gonna let this slide? This is completely... Coach pretended he hadn't heard that violent outburst either. When I thought about it later, his reaction might have been the best thing he could do in that situation.
I'll carry two of them myself. Come on, help us carry them, please.
The bags were packed to the brim with bottles of sake and bar snacks. They were so heavy, and so filthy, so unfair. They weren't just heavy in terms of weight. They made me feel mortified. Nothing could have been heavier than that.
Keiichi-san, there's no need to push yourself. I'll carry it.
Sadako mistook my biting back the humiliation as grimacing under the weight and offered to help. Stupid. Don't underestimate me. Sadako never looked down on my physical strength in the slightest.
Coach, I'm sorry for you too. It must be heavy.
No, not at all.
Answered Coach, smiling vaguely without quotation marks. Coolly, but I alone knew. Coach was an adult, so he just knew how to keep his feelings from showing. There was even more anger than I was feeling, burning deep in his eyes.
That's what adults are known for. Keep your
adults are
feelings from
well
showing.
known for that.
Yeah. Well, it is heavy.
Shit. Wasn't very far to the doorstep of Sadako's house. The bag squeezed my palms and started leaving red marks.
Even my thoughts are panting.
Fury welled up in me and the back of my throat stung. But even if it all came gushing out, it wouldn't solve anything. So, just tightly gritting my teeth was as much as I could do.
Really, thank you so much, both of you. You really helped me here.
After we carried them to the back door, Sadako said that was enough. Occasionally, we'd hear the repulsive laughing of her uncle and her friends from within, and my insides would seethe. I knew they weren't ridiculing us, and that was why it made me so mad. It made Sadako shop for all this heavy, selfish stuff, then ignored her and laughed amongst themselves as they pleased. It was deeply aggravating. Of course, Coach had to have felt the same way, but if he accidentally let his feelings slip onto his face, he'd only cause Sadako more worry. He knew all that and spoke coolly as if to say he didn't care.
Not at all. I'm happy I could be a bit of help for you. If there's anything else I can help with, please tell me.
Yeah, I really am happy you feel that way.
That he feels that way. Those words were sad. Sadako herself was sad and resigned that we could only help her so much. But she was right. No matter how much Coach or I want to help Sadako, this was as much as we could do. I felt absolutely ashamed of not having the power to help her any more than this. Burning, boiling emotions were bubbling up within me and rising into my throat. Trembling all over, I almost started to cry from my fury. Me too. If there's anything I can do, I'll help you whenever you need. So, hang in there. I wanted to at least give her those trite words saying that I'd help her whenever she wanted. Never heard Higurashi repeat himself.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm happy just that you came all the way here when you didn't need to.
Sadako seemed to have guessed what I was doing in a place like this, when my house was in the opposite direction from school.
Sadako, I guess.
Alright, you should get going. They're drunk right now, so there's no telling what they'll get mad at you for.
Oof.
She felt guilty getting us involved after we'd helped her, because she wanted to be the only one to suffer this misfortune. That's how it looked, and it hurt. I handed my supermarket bag over to Sadako, and then I noticed on the back of Sadako's hand, there's something that looked like a bruise. Hey Sadako, what the heck is that bruise? I knew as much as anyone I knew as much as anyone else how transparent that sounded. I didn't need to hear it from Sadako to know how this bruise came to be.
I just slipped on the stairs and hit it a little. Please pay it no mind.
You're lying. Coach nudged me in the back, and then he put his index finger to his mouth to chide me from being so loud.
Really, thank you so much. Until tomorrow. I really hope we can see each other at school.
That's not what I'm talking about. I asked you how you got that bruise on your hand. Ah! Evening glow finally got to a point where I could see the other concealed oval-shaped bruises and traces of swelling on her neck and her legs, and other places too.
I fell down the stairs.
The very moment my violent rampaging emotions were about to burst their way out of my throat, I found my mouth being tightly clamped down on. Coach was pressing down on my mouth from behind, wrapping around me tightly with his hands. Because of that, I couldn't say anything. I could only groan, which I did. That was all I could do. I needed to expel all the magma sitting deep within me, because otherwise I'd surely explode into a million pieces that very moment. Just like this soundtrack is clipping to fuck. We really need to get some replacement files for this shit.
This is the sound that's coming out of Keiichi's mouth. Yeah.
Manga Gamer was right all along. It's just so immersive.
It's true, it is. It's like I'm really there.
So I groaned. From my mouth, from my whole body. While heat fell in drops from my eyes. I groaned and groaned. I groaned to the point of exhaustion.
Poor boy.
I can't visually picture this scene happening.
Yeah.
Like,
it is a bit weird.
It seems so physical of a reaction, which is not anywhere near the reaction I would expect someone to have in this circumstance.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of weird about like putting myself in the scene with like Irie like grabbing him around his mouth. Like, I don't know. I think it feels very extreme.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point. But no, I definitely feel that. I don't think that this scene is quite as extreme in the anime. It's a very kind of understated moment.
Yeah.
Only a few, like 2 minutes long.
That's
maybe.
kind of what I would have expected from a scene like this.
Yeah.
I do wonder whether it's just like an artifact of being one of Ryukishi's earlier works, or whether it's an artifact of writing, or whether it's actually like an intentional thing where they're trying to show like Keiichi is physically reacting to a circumstance which it would not normally be the case to do so.
I definitely think it's intentional. Like, I wouldn't disagree with that. Like, this is how like violent of a reaction he's having, but it does feel kind of weird to read, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it would suit itself a lot better to a visual medium, this particular scene. Yeah.
I wrung absolutely everything out of myself. Even having lost my voice, I was still wringing it all out.
I understand how you feel. I feel it too, my ba-san.
Damn, do you want a point for that?
Yes.
Okay, we're taking a point. Definitely
good.
Definitely unreasonable, but I'm taking it anyway. We make
Take it. Please just endure it for now. Please, I'm asking you, my ba-san.
Endure it for now? And then what, huh? What would happen to her, to Sadako? My body and mind were wounded and she was being made to suffer like this. Can you not even let me howl in vain at all? Is that it, coach? Are we this powerless, so powerless we can't even fucking scream from the bottom of our hearts?
Yes.
Thank you, Felix. You've answered the unanswerable questions of this arc.
The voices of the Higurashi made me calm down. I didn't know how long it had been. Sadako abruptly gave a slight bow.
It's like Chrono Trigger music. Have I made that comment before? Because it definitely feels...
Maybe.
It feels very like final boss battle.
Yeah. I'm imagining scenes from A Memory Part 2 by Dream Theater, it's an album that's kind of like, it's kind of a concept album. It's kind of meant to be like an opera style thing.
Right,
that's not going to give you the right picture of it.
Just go listen to the Final Fantasy VI opera scene. In fact, go play it. Just go play Final Fantasy VI. Come back and tell me that music is not except in like 8-bit music.
I see.
It's amazing. Best moment in that fucking game.
Thank you very much, Keiichi-san.
Sadako.
You looked a lot like my real Nini just now. My real Nini may not be here anymore, but I have another Nini named Keiichi-san.
Wait, howling and screaming?
Yeah, you know how Sadashi also went insane and definitely didn't kill his aunt with a baseball bat?
Who knows? Who knows what that kid did in free time?
Is this foreshadowing, Ben?
Is this both shadowing?
Is this both shadowing?
I don't... both shadowing! The meme is evolving.
It's the name of this episode.
Both channels?
Yes.
Okay, good. I like it.
Yeah, you got it. I'm your Nini. And when you're in pain, I'll help you out no matter what. Your Nini will rescue you for sure. Satoshi Hojo, you fucking idiot!
Whoa!
If not now, then when? Sadako, she's never been in more pain in her life. If her Nini doesn't save her now, then when will he? Why did you run away? Why did you abandon her? Why did you leave Sadako behind? You don't have any right to call yourself Sadako's Nini. That's a bit extreme. I won't run away.
Keiichi's a very, extreme person.
I will gouge my own throat out instead. I keep slipping into a very Australian accent for Keiichi.
It's perfect.
As opposed to where his accent normally is, which is trying.
What are you going for?
Trying to be something, but I won't say it because it's never going to be there.
Wasn't it Jerry Seinfeld?
No, that was where I started, and then
Okay.
Jerry Seinfeld became a 6-pack a day smoker.
Right. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Definitely won't run away. I won't run away and abandon you like Satoshi. God fucking damn it,
Keiichi, why?
What's happening?
I just, I understand his frustration in this moment, but it's like,
Bring it up.
no, not even, but the idea that clearly Sadako's been I still love Satoshi, he ran away, but I hope he's doing well.
Yep.
But Keishi's like, fuck that guy!
Fuck him!
I'm better!
I'm a better brother than he'll ever be!
Yeah.
Ah!
I get it, but at the same time, come on.
Not in front of the kid.
Not in front of the kid. Wow, did I just actually, accuse Keiichi of doing something wrong even though it'll make the scene more interesting?
What?
Holy shit, is it happening? Am I starting to almost care for the characters?
Are you caring for the story? It only took you 3 arcs.
Oh my god.
That's quicker than Umaneko.
That is quicker than Umaneko.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Oh
Nice work, Ryukishi.
God.
Did you get better, or did you just get worse?
Tough questions.
Tough questions. We're not going to answer that today.
No way, I'll not abandon you.
Uh-oh. Oh, you should not have said that.
Tears trickled down from Sadako's
Oh,
eyes.
no.
And then she narrowed her eyes into a smile.
Goodbye, Nini.
Sadako took her right hand and awkwardly waved to me.
Good save.
I'll be alright. My Nini now helped me so much. So I'll be okay. I'll do my best until tomorrow. I'll be okay. So, for today, this is goodbye.
There's no way that I could say bye, see you tomorrow. And then from inside the house came a throaty, disgusting voice.
Satoko, could you bring us the snacks already?
Okay, Nini, get going already. I'll be fine now. Hurry.
Let's go, my son. Staying any longer than this would be a bother to Satoko-chan.
Coach, Nini's house is a little far away. I'm sorry to ask you this, but could you take him home?
Oh, good. More Irie voice. Yes, I'll do that.
Coach grabbed me by my collar and with strength I couldn't have imagined him having started dragging me away.
Oh boy.
And I, unable to oppose him, started getting farther away from Sadako.
I do wonder whether the strength greater than I ever could have imagined is either meant to point out that Irie is just built as fuck.
We gotta go.
Or whether it's calling back to Keiichi's inability to move in previous arcs
Right.
in tense situations.
Yeah.
Which is definitely the madness, but
He's a stubborn boy.
Yeah. She waved her hand to us, expression still dark, and disappeared.
Oh no.
Through the back door.
Oh no. Not the back door.
Coach got into the car first, then turned around on the narrow path and brought the passenger side door around for me.
I know how you feel so well it hurts. No, I think I understand it even more than you. But right now, just for now, please endure it. She understood exactly how you feel, so please endure it. If you don't...
I know already. I'm sorry, thank you for before. I meekly got into the passenger seat.
why does everyone in this town own the same car?
It's a good model.
Yes, it must be.
It's got air
I'm
conditioning.
assuming it's just the hire car that Ryukishi bought for when he was taking all these photos.
Totally. But it's the only vehicle in Hanamizawa that has air conditioning, so they just rent it out, probably.
Yeah. I'd actually love if that's just where that character thing from Muishi comes from.
Yeah.
The idea that he's like, God, it's hot. Thank goodness we got the one car that had air conditioning from the rental place.
Thank goodness.
The car accelerated quickly and Sadako's house grew farther and farther away in the rearview mirror.
We made a wide turn and then I couldn't see her house anymore.
Is your house that far away? It's in the other direction from the school, isn't it?
I didn't bother to reply. I would have been hard-pressed to give him an answer as to why I was at Sadako's house. Coach didn't say anything more either. For a while, the two of us were silent, the only sounds from the gravel spraying over the road as we drove. But seriously, Keiichi, I need to know where the fuck your house is so I can drop you home.
I just have to take you back to my place. You have to stay the night.
I remembered how Rena said things were different than last year. At the time, she had Sadashi with her. Sadashi protected Sadako, so that less of the sparks fell onto her. But now Sadashi isn't here.
That's the unfortunate truth.
Coach seemed to understand what I really meant when I said that.
It's a terribly sad, cruel story, but there is a limit to our resolve, our efforts, and our assistance.
It sounded like an excuse, but he was right. Even if Coach and I wanted to be people Sadako could depend on, that was all. It ended at the front door. No matter how much I shouted that I would be her Nini. No matter how much I shouted that I wouldn't abandon her, no matter how much Sadako called me Nini. I couldn't do any more than that.
Where on earth could Satoshi have gone?
Right, Sadashi was another story. Her actual brother Sadashi was in a position to protect her far better than we ever could. That was the cold, sad truth of the massive gulf between Sadashi and us.
I wonder what he's been doing lately.
Sadashi left home. I didn't know why, maybe it was because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, or he disappeared or something. In any case, he wasn't beside Sadako now. At the time Sadako needed him to protect her most, he wasn't here. Why isn't he here? Sadako needs him now more than ever.
A lot of people talk about Oyashiro-sama's curse, but the only thing I can say is that he ran away.
One of my friends said that one day he just never came back. He ran away without even leaving so much as a note for his sister.
Satoshi-kun had been doing part-time jobs a lot. At the time, Satoko-chan really wanted this huge stuffed animal. It ended up costing a lot, so he was doing all sorts of part-time jobs in order to afford it. I've never heard Higurashi repeat himself. He felt so strongly about it. Everyone was whispering about how he at least wanted to get his sister a nice birthday present, since she was being made to live such a pitiful life with her uncle and his wife.
In the end, he didn't use his savings for a birthday present for Sadako.
Satoshi-kun disappeared, and the police looked long and hard. They found that Satoshi-kun had withdrawn all his savings himself on the day he left. After checking all over, they began to think that he maybe had used his savings to go to Tokyo.
Tokyo? For what?
Again, all I can say was that he ran away.
He saved up all that money so he could run away. He was that selfish, but how could he just leave Sadako behind? If he was going to run away anyway, he should have brought Sadako with him.
Even now, Coach was still calm. He wasn't trying to pour any oil on the fire of my anger at all. He just waited until my anger naturally subsided. After listening to gravel being crushed under the wheels for a little while, Coach spoke abruptly.
Please understand, Satoko-chan, left behind, arrived at the safe conclusion. I'm a burden on my brother. That's why he abandoned me.
Interesting.
He didn't take her with him when he left. How terrible must Sadako have felt being betrayed by the brother she loved so much.
But Satoko-chan was a very strong person. Of course, she had the support of close friends too, but that was how she regained her smile.
I recalled how Sadako had spoken of Sadashi so brightly when I was eating dinner with her and Rika-chan a few days ago. At the time, I didn't think any more of it than how pleasant their sibling love had been. But now that I did think about it, I realized it was like she was peering into the distance from atop a pile of tragic perseverance. What a sentence.
She said Satoshi-kun would come back for sure, and that when he did, she wanted him to see how she was no longer a burden.
Sadako isn't a burden. She's way better at day-to-day living than me, and she can do pretty much anything. I mean, she might fall behind Ren or Rika-chan in certain aspects, but she's way more of an adult than most people.
But not Mion.
Yeah.
Wow, Mion, way worse than the rest of them. Let's be real. Keiichi gets it. Let's be honest. That's the result of her having worked so hard since she didn't know when Sadashi would come home. Her efforts are so painful.
Well, she lived with Rika-chan. Well, Rika-chan taught her how to handle things, how to handle everything flawlessly. Also that she could welcome Sadashi back at any moment. So that she could show him she wasn't ashamed.
So when is Sadashi gonna come back? I asked Coach, but knew he wouldn't be able to answer. In any case, Sadashi ran away. He left Sadako and ran away from Hinamizawa. Someone said that when you leave Hinamizawa and run away, Oyashiro-sama's curse gets you, right? And that made sense. Sadashi running away and his disappearance, that would obviously mean people thought it was the curse, right? And then they could smile. As though it was his own fault. As though he got what he deserved. Hey, Oyashiro-sama. Whoever you are. Sadashi didn't vanish because he ran away. You demoned him away with your curse, didn't you? If that's not what happened, then I couldn't forgive him. When did Sadashi run away?
The night of the Watanagashi festival last year, when their aunt was killed by that deviant. It was a few days after that. Stop doing hand signs, speak words.
Hold on. When did he run away? The night of the Watanagashi festival. It was a few days after that.
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
But... What?
It was a few days after the festival.
I mean, I get it, just that phrasing, right?
I guess so.
It's like, oh yeah, it was the night of the Watanagashi festival, just after their aunt was killed by the deviant. Wait, no, it was a few days after that.
Yeah, I mean, he's recalling an event. Right?
Yeah. Like, I understand what he's saying, literally. It's just that the way that it is phrased is very peculiar. Like, you know, obviously he's going back and being like, oh yeah, so this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. And, I mean, obviously to me this is implying causation. Which is kind of just what I'd been taking for granted, but this is again one of those circumstances where, like, why is it being pointed out?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. On Satoko-chan's birthday.
Sadako's birthday?
Oof.
I slammed my hands on the dashboard in front of me with all my might. Sadashi, of all the days, you could have chosen to run away. Your aunt just died a few days before, didn't she? All your days of suffering were about to end, weren't they? You were just about to start thinking about a new life, weren't you? It's wrong to be happy about someone dying, but for Sadako and her brother, her birthday had come at a critical turning point. Their mean uncle had fled town and the siblings would be left alone. They should have been able to be happy about that, on Sadako's birthday. Sadako was probably waiting for her brother to return the whole time. Waiting for her brother to return, when he never did. Waiting with bated breath for her brother to return. Her hopes and dreams of a new life to come growing even larger. But no matter how long she waited, he didn't come back. He didn't even contact her. Sadako trembling in anticipation of a great present. Just when would she have to face the cold, terrible truth? Sadashi, you fucking idiot. I could feel my blood rising in my head in my anger at Sadashi. I was frustrated. I was aggravated. I couldn't forgive him. Sadako still respected and adored her brother, and yet he so heartlessly betrayed her. Such a person wouldn't just come back now, when he was most needed. Yeah, no one would protect her. Not even her real brother, Sadashi.
So when she started to see you as her Nini, I was very happy. I pray for Satoko-chan's happiness as well, but I have a position in society and a job to do every day. I have little time that I can devote to Satoko-chan, but you're different. You go to school with her, and you're closer to her and Satoshi-kun in age. I know you think you can only do so much, but you're in a position where you can give Satoko-chan a hand much better than I can.
Or a baseball, I'm sorry.
So, I want you to help her enough for the both of us. That's what I wish for.
But that's... Coach, you could...
Of course, with my job skills, there are plenty of things only I can help her with, but in the same way, there are things only you can do for her. What I want to say is, we should both perform in every way we can.
Is that a little too complicated? Coach added that, but I shook my head in response. When I heard him say he had job skills, it reminded me that he was an adult, in a different position from all of us. Maybe I should ask him about it. Oh, Coach, do you know a lot about laws?
No, I know even less than the average person. Why?
Strangely specific answer.
I thought back to when I argued with Mion and the others about Sadako. How children's argument had only left us with the conclusion that we had to wait and see. What would an adult think?
What was it? The child welfare law. As an emergency measure to secure the safety of a juvenile, they can force him or her to separate from the parents.
We can do that, so then we could rescue Sadako from her uncle right away.
Satoko-chan might not want that. Unless the person being abused wants shelter, anyway, it doesn't go that far.
Sadako doesn't want it. Why? Coach didn't answer me. I didn't know why he didn't. It was clear as day that Sadako's uncle was being violent and treating her like a slave. So then why? I clamped down on my frenzied emotions and waited intently for Coach to answer. But he never did. It wasn't like he was pretending he hadn't heard me. If I had to say, it was more like he wanted to explain but couldn't put it into the right words.
Satoko-chan probably thinks of this abuse as a trial.
Trial? This isn't some weird religion we're talking about.
You might know this, but Satoshi-kun always looked out for Satoko-chan. She always relied on him, almost as though she was utterly dependent on him.
I'd known for a while that Satoshi had always protected Sadako from their aunt and uncle. But that was his duty as an older brother, not something to worry about.
I think that may have traumatized her. Maybe she figured that depending so heavily on her brother had made him hate her.
And for Sadako, the current situation was a retelling of the story a little over a year ago. This time, Satoshi wasn't here.
So, I believe that now. She thinks something like this. She wants to overcome this trial by herself without relying on anyone else. And that if she doesn't go strong, then Satoshi-kun will never return.
Now that he mentioned it, Sadako had never said a word about how hard it had been before. I figured she was being threatened not to talk about it, but... I talked with everyone and we were wondering if we should report it to the Child Consultation Center.
I have heard that a social worker was visiting Satoko-chan last year.
Yeah, in the end they decided to wait and see, and we thought maybe that made her get tormented even more.
That was... Apparently, Satoko-chan reported it herself, and as a result the abuse worsened, but was kept just out of sight. She was under even more torment, and the burden on Satoshi-kun for protecting her rose considerably.
Could Sadako, she wouldn't be thinking it's her own fault for reporting it, would she? Coach nodded quietly.
Satoko-chan would probably either hate it if you suggested reporting the abuse or feign courage and say you didn't need to. And even if you reported it in secret, she'd probably insist to the social worker that she wasn't being abused.
Sadako always acts tough and doesn't readily admit defeat, so I could imagine that easily.
There are strict limitations on this emergency measure. The Child Consultation Center would need permission both from the court and from the concerned party. If the abuse was known to the public, they could forcibly shelter her even if she denied it. For Satoko-chan, that would probably mean losing.
This isn't about winning or losing, it's real life. Sadako, she's...
Back on topic. After they placed her under their protection, she would be sent to a childcare institution or the like, and she would basically be living there. So it would mean moving away, and with the change in residence would come a change in schools too.
That... changing schools... It has to be done. That's what it'll take for her to be safe.
Satoko-chan understands all these things. All the more reason for her not to want it.
Why?
Because Satoko-chan's reason for living is to wait at that house for Satoshi-kun to return. She was a husk, an empty shell after being abandoned by her brother. How did she find her reason to live? Try looking at it from Satoko-chan's point of view, rather than your own.
I felt like he was trying to confuse me with that hard-to-understand roundabout way of talking so unique to adults.
The thing I
Just
love
the
about...
ones in Hinamizawa.
The thing I love about this whole scene is Irie is like,
Yeah.
I don't know much about the law, less than the average person.
And then he just spouts law.
Yes.
It's great, isn't it? I know very little. Here we go.
Like,
Lecture.
It speaks really well to, I think, how invested Irie is in this.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
necessarily the reasons he's invested in it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it shows that, like, he's probably been over this, like, time
He's
and
like,
time
no, I
again.
can't help you. We should stop pursuing this, but, like, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a really good character moment for him.
The point was that I couldn't do anything about Sadako wanting to stay in that house, and that I should watch until she gives in. In the end, no matter what I said, Coach himself was saying to wait and see. I don't understand.
But
If I feel that Sadako is really in danger, I'll report it without asking anyone's opinion. She might not be happy with the result and she might hate me for it, but I believe that I will ultimately be what brings Sadako happiness. Coach turned to me and gazed fixedly into my eyes. It was written all over his face. He was shocked. And what such a young kid had said?
oh my god, what's happened? This chapter or this arc is so full of typos.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Why would you go that far?
Coach, no, rather, normal adults might not have understood, so I taught him the creed and values that I believed in. Sadako is my friend.
Good.
And I am Sadako's Nini. Isn't that enough of a reason?
Oh,
You've taught him the creed.
there's the creed. I am their friend. I will die for them. Literally die.
I stared at him with a will strong and unbreakable as steel, and his eyes betrayed a tiny bit of unrest.
No, of course that's enough.
We were silent for a little while until finally Coach said only that. And we make a promise.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Yeah.
That we weren't ever going to let Sadako cry. We made a vow on that day of the barbecue party. I didn't think about it hard at all, but Coach and I still made a promise. We would never let Sadako cry. Coach gave a dry grin of regret, immediately apologizing for not remembering. One way or another, when he grinned like that, it made me think that his enthusiasm for saving Sadako was a tiny bit smaller than
He
mine.
didn't remember it.
He lightly hit the brakes, making a skidding noise, and leaned forward.
Could that be your house there? All right, Maebasan would live at the Maebar residence, wouldn't he?
Before I knew it, we were almost to my house.
So it's just, there we go.
There we go.
That's the end.
It's a little tense end to that chapter there. That was fun. Yeah.
Nice lengthy pause to make
Oh.
you feel scared.
Are you feeling scared? Is your heart racing?
I'm utterly terrified.
New tips.
Case 31.
Case 31.
I'm assuming this is last year's case reported by Sadako.
Achievement unlocked. Plain to see.
I
and
think
it's
that's meant to be a bottle of sake.
bottle of sake, yeah. Must be. Yeah, because that's a little tray that you like drink it out of.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you like pour the bottle in a little like cuppy tray thing.
I
white
see.
Thing, and you sip out
Most
of
of
that.
my friends just down
Puppy
it
tray.
straight from the bottle at great velocity.
You know what? Yeah, clearly uncultured. Uncultured fools. Also, cuppy tray.
All right.
Technical term. December 1st, 1981. Prefecture Juvenile Welfare Division report. Do not view, do not duplicate. On pain of death. Case 31, November 20th.
I guess we better stop reading.
Tadago Hojo. Blank years old. Residence blank. Village Shibone.
Now, this is not, like, super important, but I do find it very peculiar that Ryukishi is, like, not being open about everyone's ages.
Yeah.
Like,
It's interesting.
on the one hand, I get
very
that
vague
it's
about
not
it.
important, but on the other hand, it's like,
Everyone wants to know.
yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if he's trying to just leave it open. Also, it's the classic anime excuse of like, they look like they're 12, but they're actually 1,000 years old. You know, that sort of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a peculiarity that I don't necessarily understand.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very strange thing, but yeah, I think it's just him not wanting to like set it in stone. Consultation circumstances. Anonymous telephone SOS of child abuse. 2 eyes. Abuse situation. Anonymous claims that a female child is suffering physical abuse by adoptive parents or guardians. 3. Family structure. White blank marks abusers. Adoptive father. Adoptive mother. Older brother. Child in question. Note, in June 1980, the child's parents died in an accident and she was given to her uncle on her father's side, her father's younger brother. 4. Child Consultation Center's response. On the day of the anonymous telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked of her situation. The next day, the welfare officer on duty visited the child's home and heard what they had to say. Both adoptive parents agreed to the center's coaching. Contacted Anti-Abuse Network in the city as part of their suggested coaching. A district welfare officer in the area began visiting for coaching at fixed intervals. The scroll note below is stapled to the report. Related information from former official Mr. W. Refer to 1977 document D23, number 44. Ask Chief Investigator F from the city's education consultation offices. He is well informed about it. Yeah?
So this is 1983.
Was it? Was it 1981?
No. Like, the story is 1983.
Oh, right. Yes.
The aunt was killed in 1982.
Yep.
So this would have been, like, late 1981.
Yep, November, it said.
So... 82, 81...
Then what was 1977?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I don't think we've had anything dated there.
We haven't, no.
No.
I don't know. Find out, I guess. Oh, was that it?
That is it.
Oh, okay.
That was the
Well,
note stapled to the bottom of the report.
We did it, guys. We read the thing. I was enjoying that
Read the
voice.
whole thing.
Maybe next time there'll be more of that. Yeah, anything to say about that?
Not about that particular
Chapter,
thing.
maybe?
It did have the thought while we were kind of reading through that, particularly with what Irie is saying about Sadako's, like, feeling that she is the cause for her brother going away. Like, on the one hand, it could be purely that, like, oh, you know, he abandoned me, it must be my fault, as people in those circumstances can often feel. But I do wonder what other guilt Sadako is, like, ascribing to herself in that circumstance. Because knowing Ryukashi, it's probably going to be like, this is the surface level, here's the deeper level.
Maybe.
So it'll be... Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
It'll be interesting to see how that actually pans out, if it is, like, just this at the surface level, or if we get anything more.
Yeah. I'm glad that we got a scene with Irie, like a proper scene. I feel like I'm getting a handle on his voice too, which is fun. I'm looking forward to more of him. Alrighty, well, maybe we'll get a Tepe sprite at some point.
I hope not.
I don't think we do. I don't think we do, sadly.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I'll just Photoshop poorly aerobics videos from the 80s.
Adam Kerbel's face. I don't know if you can do that. That might be too much.
That's definitely too much.
Anyway, we'll see you all next time.